With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
In this question, we have to study the given cross for self-pollination in F1 and fill in the blank that has been given. So in place of this question mark, what kind of genotype is going to be there, that we have to predict. Now the cross which is given is a typical dihybrid cross. What do we mean by dihybrid cross? When we are studying the inheritance of two traits, two kinds of different characters simultaneously. And this is obviously going to be in accordance with Mendel's laws of inheritance, because these two traits that are given for garden pea plants only, that is the Pisum sativum plants. And even during his experiments, while Mendel was conducting his experiments to find out the laws of inheritance, he was observing the pattern for 7 contrasting characteristics, 7 contrasting traits in these pea plants, after which he gave us 3 generalizations, which are today known as Mendel's laws of inheritance. So over here, since 2 traits we are considering, we can clearly see 2 types of genes are given, one R and one Y. So both these genes are going to control 2 different traits. And what are these traits? Our first trait is the shape of the seed, the shape of the pea. And according to Mendel, any trait is under the control of one particular gene. And these genes can have 2 types of alternative forms, 2 types of alleles, out of which one is dominant, which is always going to express itself. Whereas the second allele, the recessive one, is going to be suppressed by the dominant allele. It's not going to be able to express itself in the presence of the dominant one. So here for seed shape, we see that capital R denotes the dominant allele, which is going to produce round shaped seeds, whereas the recessive allele, the small r, is going to produce wrinkled shaped seeds. Similarly, the second trait that we are considering in our dihybrid cross is the color of the seed. And here also, we are having 2 kinds of alleles. The capital Y is the dominant allele, which is going to produce yellow color seeds, and recessive allele is going to be represented by small y, which will produce green color seeds. So this is a typical Mendelian dihybrid cross. First, we are taking a pure dominant parent. Both the alleles are dominant and phenotype is round and yellow. Obviously, as we have stated, these dominant alleles produce this phenotype. And the second parent is pure recessive. It has R and Y both small, and wrinkled green phenotype is going to be produced here. So when we cross 2 such pure plants together, because both of the parents are homozygous, first parent has only capital letters, second parent has only small letters, so they can produce only one kind of progeny. All of their progeny are going to have a heterozygous condition for both the genes, because from one parent they are only receiving the capital R and capital Y, from the other parent they can only receive small r and small y. And so in the F1 generation, in the first filial generation, we are going to only obtain the hybrids which have such a genotype. Now when we proceed with this cross, what we do is that the hybrids we have obtained in the F1 generation, we self-pollinate them, after which we are going to produce 4 different kind of phenotypes in our next filial generation. In the F2 generation, 4 phenotypes are going to be produced in the 9:3:3:1 characteristic ratio. But here, since we are only talking about our F1 generation, F2 generation we don't need to worry about. And in the F1 generation, what we do is, in our dihybrid cross between these pure parents, since they are both homozygous, only one kind of offspring is produced. And clearly in the question is also written that in the F1 generation we have to do self-pollination. So by self-pollination, what do we mean? That both of the parents that we are crossing with one another are going to have the same genetic makeup, the same genotype. So in place of the question mark, what is the genotype that is going to be here? It is going to be similar to the one which is given over here. So the seeds are going to be round yellow, and the genotype is going to be heterozygous for both the genes. But when we cross them together, since they are also having the recessive alleles, 4 different kind of phenotypes will be produced. But in our F1 generation, since we have only one kind of genotype, only one kind of hybrids are produced, this is going to be the genotype of the cross.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.